All right, guys, that was Gil Joe, Need Somebody. Okay, so the topic that we are going to sit here and chill and just really just dive deep into, it's going to be all about counting the cost. Counting the cost. There's a difference between being a fan of Christianity and being a follower of Christianity. A fan is just saying, you know what? I'm going to wear the name tag of a Christian. I'm going to be in the stand and I'm just going to root, right? I'm going to root for my team. I'm all about my team. I know a lot about my team, but I'm not on the field practicing, playing the game. I'm not an active participant on a daily basis. And that's just being a fan of Christianity. And there's a lot of people that are nothing but a fan of Christianity. They don't follow Christianity. They don't follow the biblical principles, right? If we compare them to the world, they look just like the world, right? It doesn't mean that you have to be all extra holy and just unapproachable. No, like you could be real, you could be you, and you could still be a follower of Christianity, a follower of Christ, right? Without being totally lame, you know? But a lot of people look just like the world because they aren't willing to give up their own personal pleasures and desires, and they're walking with the world. They just have the nameplate of a Christian on. So when it comes to being a follower, you are in the Word. You are following the Word. You're at church. You are worshiping God. God is number one, not number 2, 3, or 4. Right? You are doing your best to walk as Christ has walked and how he has called you to walk, right? In holiness and all of that stuff. That's being an actual follower. You are either one or the other. You cannot be lukewarm when it comes to that stuff, guys. So in that, if we're going to jump from being a fan to being a follower, we really have to count the cost. What does it mean to be a Christian? What are you giving up? What do you have to give up? Do you have to give anything up? Because a lot of times people make Christianity seem like, it is rainbows and butterflies and sunshine, and it is to a degree, but people make it seem sometimes like there is no hurt, there is no pain. You're just going to be on like cloud 9 the entire time. Your life will be perfect. And that is far from the truth. It's almost like when you join the military, right? You join the military, and if you're like me, you like that type of structure, okay? So you're like, yes, I'm going to be a part of this people group because look at them. They are so well structured, and I love these different aspects about them, right? That's cool. But we don't think about boot camp, right? We don't think about how the drill and the drill sergeant and all the other instructors, how they get up in your face, how there's hardly any sleep in boot camp, all the stuff that you have to endure to be able to be one of them. Now, when it comes to Christianity, it's not a whole bunch of works that you have to do, but I'm just correlating that to just letting you know that it's not an easy process to go from who you used to be to who God has called you to be. It doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect. No, but you aren't supposed to look like the world. You should be doing a 180 when you come to Christ, letting go of all of that old stuff that you used to do, going to the clubs, getting drunk, partying, all that stuff, right? You should be hungry for God and not liquor. You should be hungry for the word of God instead of hanging out, doing you, smoking and all that stuff, right? So what does it truly mean to be a Christian? What does it truly mean? And we're going to go over Luke 14, 25 to 28 and 33. It says this: large crowds were traveling with Jesus, and turning to them, he said, "If anyone comes to me and does not hate their father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, even their own life, such a person cannot be my disciple. And whoever does not carry their cross and follow me cannot be my disciple. Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it?" Verse 33, it says this: "In the same way, those of you who do not give up everything you have cannot be my disciple." So number one, It doesn't literally mean, okay, we have to understand the Bible in context, okay? It doesn't literally mean that you hate your family, right? God is not about that, right? But it's using that to emphasize the fact that, are you willing to give up maybe pleasing other people, right? Some of us are all about, okay, well, my mom wants me to go to college and my dad wants me to get this kind of job because we have to have the American dream. And that's first. Church is right there, right? But this is what we're supposed to do. And this is what my family does. This is what my parents want me to do. And they raised me. So I have to follow them. Are you willing to give up pleasing even your close family who have their plans for your life? Not God's plans, because God orders your steps. God knows the plans and purposes that he has for you. Are you willing to give up pleasing others or pleasing yourself? Giving up worldly plans and saying, I'll follow you, God. Let me tell you something. The moment I said, okay, I want to be a Christian, I wasn't really ready to lay down everything, right? I still wanted my way when it came to a lot of stuff. And I thought it was okay. This is the plan that I had for my life. And now that I became a Christian, I'm going to still keep that plan, right? This was my mindset because I wasn't totally sold out yet. I thought I was. But I realize now that I wasn't. So I kept my plan, right? I went to college. I went to graduate school. I got the job, right? That makes good money, right? I got the car, all the stuff that you're supposed to do, all the stuff that you were aiming to achieve since we're little, right? This is what we're supposed to be reaching for in life, right? I wasn't willing to give that up. And I didn't think God had some other crazy plan for me. Not at all, right? I just wanted to incorporate God, Jesus, or Christianity into my life. Not incorporate life into my Christianity. And so when I finally was sold out for God, like totally all in, I said, God, I'm laying down everything. What did he do? He gave me a new plan. He gave me a new purpose and new calling. I left that job, went to a new job. I went to school, right, for criminal justice, but now I'm at Oral Roberts University, studying theology because God shifted the direction of my life. Was it easy to give up? No. I fought that thing tooth or nail because I already invested in school. I already invested in a career, right? In federal law enforcement. I invested. I'm not going to just totally switch everything up now. But when God calls you, he's saying, hey, are you willing to give up what maybe your parents think you should have? Maybe what you think you should have? Are you willing to give that up to seek something else, to seek something better? When Jesus saw some of his disciples before they were his disciples, he said, hey, just go ahead and put down your fishing net. Just come with me. Wait a second, Jesus. Hold up. I've been doing this whole fisherman thing for a really long time. This is what I'm good at. I'm making money. I'm making profit. I'm about to build an empire. You're telling me as you're walking, hey, drop that, follow me. Just like that. What they do? They dropped it and they followed him. Because there's something about following God and you're just like, man, I got to check this out. I don't know what's on the other side of it, but it's so intriguing. There's something about it. I just got to find out. I got to see the other end of this thing. I got to follow God, right? Either follow God into the unknown, which can be exhilarating, or be comfortable in your box. And it could be mundane day to day. I wanted something not new, but that drawing of something different, a different calling. It just started to call my name. And I was like, I got to seek this thing out. I don't know what's on the other end of it, but I got to taste it. I got to try it. I got to see it. I got to follow Jesus. I got to follow Jesus because I was tired of following my parents and I was tired of following myself. So I gave up my plans and my purpose for something that is so much better. The second thing, it talks about in verse 33, carrying your cross. Man, What is your cross? Let me tell you something. When we are shifting from a me mentality, from a worldly mentality, and shifting from being a fan to a follower, it is uncomfortable. Let me tell you something. That cross is lighter than the burdens that we put on ourselves from life, but it's still a weight, right? It's still a weight. It's so much lighter, but it's still a weight. It's a better weight, but it's still a weight. Let me tell you, like when, giving up my thoughts of how I thought I was or who I was and shifting my mindset to the mindset of Christ, that is difficult. It is difficult laying down your life for God, because he wants to change the way you think. He wants to change the way you feel in aspects that are unhealthy, right? Because he wants to put you on the potter's wheel. He wants to shape you into who you were created to be. And that's so much better than who you were, right? So he was like, okay, Jessica, you're going to stop drinking so much. You're going to stop cursing so much, right? I'm going to take you and I'm going to turn this homosexuality into heterosexuality, right? I'm going to do that for you, right? I'm going to shift your mind from thinking about women to thinking about men. I'm going to put desires in your heart, to reach the lost. I am going to put in you compassion, because you've kind of been hard and you've just kind of worried about yourself, and been self-centered, but I'm going to give you compassion for the lost and for the hurting. This doesn't happen overnight, guys. How he gets us from there, from brokenness to wholeness and healing, there is a crushing, there is a breaking that we go through, and people look at you. People will look at us, right? They look at me, and sometimes all they see is that peak, that mountaintop. Oh, Jessica speaks on Friday nights, or she does the radio, right? And they just see that peak, that mountain peak, right? But below the peak, right, it is a whole mountain. And that's what happens at nighttime when you are crying out to God. I can't do this. This is too hard. I'm about to give up. I don't know if I can change. I keep messing up. Forgive me. I'm tired of asking for forgiveness, because I just keep doing it over and over again, because honestly, I love to please my flesh more than I love to please you sometimes. But God, help me to line myself up with you, Father God. This is the burden. This is the cross that we pick up and that we have to carry. It is not easy. Have you counted the cost? It is easy to say, God called me to ministry. But in order for him to get you to a place to where you can actually be that minister that he's called you to be, he has to break you and crush you. But he does it in a way where it can hurt. But he's still there. He's still holding you. He's reminding you that, hey, I got you. I'm breaking you down, but hey, don't worry. I got you. I know the enemy's trying to attack you and trying to pull you back to your old nature, but you have to remember that I've got you. And we have to focus on God, not on our flesh. Focus on focus on things above and not things below, because the enemy all the time, he will try to get you to go backwards, and he knows what to say while you are in your bed at night, just to try to pull you down. He knows what to do. He knows what to say. And so we battle with our flesh. What are we going to do? Are we going to turn back and retreat? Or are we going to go ahead, jump into this battle? Are we going to get on this playing field and push and learn and grow and get the bruises and get the bumps, whatever it is that we need to do to be able to be strengthened, to be able to stand on that calling that he has for us? Have you counted the cost? I am so grateful for where I am. I would never change not a day that has gone by, because I see now, although there were times when I couldn't before, I see now that God was there the entire time, but we have to stick close to him. Stick with others who will uplift us and guide us into the things of God. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Here's Toby Mac, Light Shine Bright. Follow me, guys, on Facebook, Love at the Cross. Check out my YouTube, Love at the Cross, or my website, loveatthecross.com. If you have not gotten my book, An Unconventional Love Letter to the LGBTQ Community, check it out, okay? Check it out. You can go on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever books are sold, and get that. All right, guys. Toby Mac, Light Shine Bright.